Welcome to Street Park Collection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown, the 205 Live results from January 17, 2020. Birthdays for this week, January 14th, birthdays. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, he was born 1954. Matt Riddle, 1986. Casey Catanzaro, 1990. January 15th, birthdays. Kelly, 1987. Shane McMahon, 1970. Bull Buchanan, 1968. Nicole Matthews, 1987. Tucker, 1990. No birthdays on the 16th or 17th. So we got January 18th, the $1 Million Man, 1954. Batista, 1969. And Mark Briscoe, 1985. Universal Champion, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, took to Twitter with a message for his former tag team partner and enemy, Matt Hardy. Dear Matt, I could never hurt you. I could heal you, just like you did for me. When the world threw me away, you were the only one offering to pick me up. I never forget, as Wyatt wrote. I can see the capital letters in the post spell out, let me in, which could be another message from The Fiend. This appears to be a reference to Matt's Free to Delete episode that was recapped on Friday. That episode, which may have been included references to Matt's WWE departure and sister Abigail. Had some fans speculating on Matt indicated that his feud with Wyatt actually hurt him in the long run. Matt has not confirmed it. Matt did respond to Bray's tweet. He wrote, "For I never forget incredibly noble interventions. Thank you." Former UFC heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez will apparently have another opportunity to get his hands on WWE champion Brock Lesnar. During an interview with Sun Sport, Velasquez confirmed that he will be a participant in the 30-man Royal Rumble match later this month. I can win it. Heck yeah. That's my mentality for everything. Velasquez said about the Rumble, for everyone as well. That is how your mentality has to be. I'm going in to win this thing. Velasquez signed a 3-year deal with WWE this past October. He was granted a title shot against WWE champion Brock Lesnar in his debut match, which he lost in short order at Crown Jewel last October. Velasquez discussed what went wrong in the match. I thought with the MMA, that would be enough. Go in there with the same style and same game plan, Velasquez said, who had defeated Lesnar by TKO at UFC 121 in October 2010. But this is a different animal. Brock is the man here, so I ended up getting caught. The match was going my way. He caught me at the end. Despite the one-sided loss, Velasquez said that he plans to face Lesnar again with a different outcome. I just have to keep pushing forward. I am never going to stop fighting to go out there and beat him again. WWE has announced new details on their Fight Like a Girl series with Quibi. It was announced today that individual episodes will lead by Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch, the Bella Twins, Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, Alexa Bliss, Sonya Deville, Paige, Nia Jax, and Natalya. WWE Chief Brand Officer Stephanie McMahon will be featured in each episode as she pairs a WWE superstar with a young woman struggling with personal issues. The episodes were filmed at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando. Stephanie is also an executive producer of the series. This strong cast of superstars are leaders and role models who each have personal stories of challenge, perseverance, and triumph. Stephanie said in the announcement, "We are thrilled to have them on board to help young women find both their inner and outer strength and overcome adversity in their lives." Over the past few months, Jinder Mahal has been posting updates on Instagram regarding a return to the ring. Back in June, the former WWE champion underwent knee surgery at Andrews Sports Medicine, an orthopedic center in Birmingham, Alabama. This was after suffering a patellar tendon rupture at a WWE live event in Denver on June 15th. Mahal appears to be getting ready to return to the ring soon. He posted another Instagram video of him working out, stating he is coming back at this link. Be back soon. Who's going to try the hang clean high pull? For the exercise, police. This is not an upright row. Hashtag the experiment is back on. Stay tuned for updates on Mahal and his WWE return. And go to that link. WWE has reportedly signed another major athlete in Emily Anzulis. According to Casey Michael of the Square Circle Sirens, WWE brought her in on a developmental deal, and she will be reporting to the WWE Performance Center in Orlando this month. Anzulis was a contestant on the Titan Games, a competition show hosted by The Rock. She became the first female champion of the game in a competition to determine the best male and female participants. Anzulis ended up receiving a WWE tryout back in April 2019, eventually training at the JPWA Academy with Cain and Dr. Tom Pritchard, and can be found on this link. It's expected that Anzulis will be joining stars like Mercedes Martinez, who has also reportedly signed with WWE and had her first match last week in NXT. WWE has also made 6 new other signings official. The biggest names are independent standout Jake Atlas and veteran wrestler Mercedes Martinez. In addition to those 2 wrestlers, they also signed Sydney Bateman, Anthony Francis, Emily Angelis, and Zechariah Smith. If I'm not mistaken, Zechariah. There was a Zechariah from Tough Enough series. Check out the bios from all of them at WWE.com. Jasmine Benitez, a veteran grappler known worldwide as Mercedes Martinez, no stranger to the WWE Universe. She made it to the semifinals of the inaugural Mae Young Classic in 2017 and returned for the second edition of the tournament in 2018. She also competed in it on NXT TV on several occasions. Emily Angelis of Powell, Tennessee, brings a diverse athletic background with her to Orlando. The 27-year-old is a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and trains in Taekwondo. She competed on the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson Titan Games and was crowned the first female Titan. Sydney Bateman, 27-year-old acrobat from St. Louis, Missouri. Bateman was a cast member for Cirque du Soleil's Lucia show, where he specialized in hoop diving. Anthony Francis, 6'5", 330-pounder, with 5 years of NFL experience under his belt. The former defensive tackle played for the Miami Dolphins, Seattle Seahawks, and Washington Redskins. Kenny Marquez, aka independent wrestling standout Jake Atlas, brings his unique experience in gymnastics and cheerleading to the WWE PC. 25-year-old California native broke out in promotions like Pro Wrestling Guerrilla and appeared on an episode of Undercover Boss featuring Stephanie McMahon, where Marquez explained to WWE's chief brand officer that his dream is to become the first openly gay WWE champion. Zechariah Smith towers over the new recruits at 7 foot tall and 310 pounds. The Oklahoma native played college basketball for Morgan State University before going pro internationally. He also played for the longtime rivals of the Harlem Globetrotters, the Washington Generals. WWE SmackDown superstar The Miz is set to host a new show on the USA Network. The Miz will be the host of USA's Cannonball competition series, which will be like the old Wipeout show. According to The Wrap, Miz will be joined by co-host Roski Diaz and sideline reporter Simon Gibson. The 10-episode Cannonball show will premiere on the USA Network during the summer, featuring contestants from across America who face off in the biggest, wettest, slipperiest water sports competition ever created. According to a press release, contestants will slide off a 100-foot water slide and drop from 1 of the world's fastest drop towers, among other water activities. The winner will take home $10,000 cash prize. USA released the following bio on the former WWE champion to promote the show. First, introduced to TV audiences as one of the 7 strangers on The Real World, back to New York. Ms. Annan parlayed his reality TV fame into a successful WWE career, making his WWE debut in 2006. He has gone on to hold multiple championship titles, including the WWE Championship, Intercontinental Championship, Tag Team Championship. Ms. Annan also starred in several films produced by WWE Studios, including The Marine 3, Homefront, Marine 4, Moving Target, Marine 5, Battleground, Marine 6, Close Quarters, Christmas Bounty, and Santa's Little Helper. I haven't seen Christmas Bounty or Santa's Little Helper. Stay tuned for updates on the show, which is produced by ITV America's ITV Entertainment, and based on the original TV format by ITV Studios Netherlands and licensed by ITV Studios. Previously reported, Steve Bryan reported at SoCal Uncensored that Brian Cage has signed with AEW. Cage's wife, Melissa Santos, denied the report on Twitter. Santos tweeted, "Really? How can you confirm something like this isn't true? I'm his wife. I can't. And I can confirm he hasn't signed on any dotted line." She later added, "And when he finally signs somewhere, be it AEW, Impact, etc., we will let you know. People trying to get ahead of actual facts is not cool." WWE backstage analysts CM Punk and Paige took to Twitter over the weekend and joked about being in the 30-man and 30-woman Royal Rumble matches later this month. Paige tweeted, "I am coming back to #Royal Rumble, you guys. I'm entering myself into the men's and being number 2 and taking the Bish to Suplex City. Then go on to win the whole thing." Faced with tears of joy emoji. Punk responded with the same Spider-Man gif meme to indicate he's thinking something along the same lines. 2020 Hall of Famer Batista has been added to the cast of Apple TV's C drama, according to Deadline. The Animal will co-star with Jason Momoa in the second season of the hit world-building drama from Peaky Blinders creator Stephen Knight and director Francis Lawrence. If you're not familiar with Jason Momoa, Aquaman. C takes place in the distant future after a deadly virus decimated humankind. The people who survived were left blind. Momo, starring as a character named Baba Voss, is the father of twins born centuries later with a mythic ability to see, who must protect his tribe against a powerful yet desperate queen who wants to destroy the twins. No word yet on what Batista's character is. The series also features cast and crew who are blind or have low vision, who help bring authenticity to the world. The role on C marks the first major TV role for Batista, who has starred in several major motion pictures over the past few years. No word yet on when the second season of C will premiere, but stay tuned for updates for the season premiere back in November. Batista will be included into the WWE Hall of Fame during WrestleMania 36 weekend in April. This week's WWE Raw episode saw another twist in Eric Rowan's storyline, as he seemed to be bitten by the mystery pet inside the cage. Rowan won another squash match this week over an enhancement talent who was not named. That jobber was played by Illinois indie wrestler Joey O'Reilly, who has wrestled for several years now. O'Reilly can be found on Twitter at Joey O'Reilly 11. San Francisco 49ers player George Kittle wore cleats with The Rock on one side and Rock's Brama Bull logo on the other, which can be seen at this link. The Rock saw the cleats and commented on Twitter, "Big love and gratitude to my boy at G Kittle 46. The people's tied in for rocking these electrifying custom rocks made by at March 275. The Gory Kicks Custom Sneaker Company in Cincinnati has created a custom pair of kicks for Matt Hardy. The Air Delete 1S. These are a custom one-of-one pair, and they're not for sale. They tweeted, Air Delete 1, sneak peek. Custom commissioned sneaker art for the vessel of at Matt Hardy brand, not for sale. Custom one-of-one. From the ashes, these all white at Air Jordan 1 channeled the form of hashtag broken Matt Hardy in sneaker form. Hashtag free to delete. You can see the photos of this link of the sneakers, which were created with the Air Jordan 1S. And a Twitter response from Matt. Courtesy of the world star hip hop. A new music video for the Lost single from WWE NXT superstar Lio Rush. This link. Also noted, John Cena is currently promoting the new Doolittle movie with Robert Downey Jr. and filming the Suicide Squad sequel with director James Gunn and several signified Hollywood names. That movie hits theaters on August 6, 2021. The former WWE champion will also be joining the Fast and the Furious family this summer when he stars in the Fast and the Furious 9 film. By the way, Doolittle is already out at theaters. The Suicide Squad must be what they were talking about. Cena currently spoke with Collider about how his film career is taking off. Dude, it's an A. I don't know any of this is happening, Cena said. I'm promoting a movie with Robert Downey Jr. I'm currently filming a superhero movie with James Gunn. Speaking with Collider, Cena praised Guardians of the Galaxy director Gunn for his work and recalled how he was blown away with the first time he met Gunn. Cena walked into Gunn's office to see the wall covered with the storyboards for the Suicide Squad sequel. Cena was in some of those storyboards and was impressed with how Gunn already knew the movie. Cena compared Gunn's storytelling style with his career as a WWE superstar. When I watch Guardians, immediately I'm connected to these people. I walk away with a certain takeaway from that movie, Cena said. It has nothing to do with the preconceived notions of the comic book characters. I watched the movie for the movie, and I enjoy it. I'm also a storyteller at heart. I got to go out there on a nightly basis in WWE and entertain Birmingham, Alabama, and make them want to believe that they want to see a WWE title switch, or that so-and-so hates so-and-so, whatever story we're trying to put together for that night. So I tip my cap to a great storyteller. James is a writer and a developer, and he has great vision. Cena is rumored to play Peacemaker in the Suicide sequel, but he won't confirm that. He did comment on what it was like putting his character's costume on for the first time. Awesome. There's folklore about yeah, kid, wait till you do a superhero movie. I guess I'm used to my costume being jean shorts and a t-shirt. So it's a nice little change up that I didn't have to wear a ball cap and wristbands. But it was really cool, Cena said. Regarding the Fast movie, which has already wrapped and will hit theaters May 22nd, Cena would not reveal details on his character for that movie either, but he did admit that he's involved in at least one huge set piece. He also admitted that the Fast series trademark action scenes are challenging to film. He stressed that the crew was completely professional and made sure that he was never in any real danger. On film, I will cheat death, but it's so safe. He said, I had no fear in any of the processes. When I saw small renderings of what it's like, what it's going to look like, I'm like, what the F? It's awesome, and I think making the actors feel that sense of hey man, we've set this up, and you are going to be all right. Just go for it. you get the best performance from your actors rather than somebody going, I don't know about this. It was unbelievably safe, but also unbelievably creative. Cena's Fast 9 character should be confirmed at the end of this month when the first official trailer for the movie premieres. During a new on-camera interview with Chris Van Vliet, David Benoit opens up about his family tragedy at this link where his father, his wife Nancy, and their son Daniel were found dead in their home in 2007 in a double murder-suicide. Benoit said that when the news broke, it was nonstop. It was hard for him to do everyday things like going to school. The news was nonstop, Benoit said. It was either about steroids, or Nancy Grace joke. It was terrible, man. I couldn't even walk around. I didn't go finish school. I was 14 or 15. I didn't finish my finals. I finished high school, but just not that year. Chris Benoit reportedly suffered from CTE at the time of the tragedy. A test conducted after his death found that Benoit suffered from damage to all 4 lobes of the brain. His brain stem and his brain mirrored a resemblance of an 85-year-old patient who had Alzheimer's disease. David believes that if the current health and wellness protocols would have taken effect earlier in his father's career, he wouldn't have suffered from all the mental anguish that led to the double homicide-suicide. That wasn't him, man, Benoit said. He would never do that. I know he wouldn't. I think something went terribly wrong. The doctor said he had CTE at the beginning. That somewhat gave me closure. He had CTE, so I don't think that was him. Benoit recounts the last time he spoke to his father and how he didn't notice anything unusual during their conversation. Instead, they were making plans on what they were going to do when David came down to Georgia to visit his dad that summer. No, I didn't see him that much. I did see him in the summer for 4 weeks and then 2 weeks for Christmas. Benoit stated, I talked to my dad on Father's Day. That was the last time. We talked for like 2 hours. We were just laughing and getting ready to make plans for the summer, and I got to say, I love you one last time to him. That was the last time. When David found out about his father's passing in a horrific crime scene, he couldn't comprehend what had happened. I thought it was a joke when I first found out, Benoit recounted. I was in Edmonton doing a fundraising thing with my sister. My mom got a call from RCMP telling her to come down to Georgia. My mom told me my grandfather, Chris's father, went down to Georgia. He was in control of it. My mom couldn't do it because she had to take care of me and my sister. He was in control of the estate and the lawyers. Benoit stated that his first reaction was to be aggressive towards the police officer that told him the news. I punched a cop, Benoit revealed. I punched him right in the chest. I thought it was a joke. I really did. I just didn't believe it, bro. I think the day it really hit me was at his funeral. That was a hard day. I laid him to rest. Van Vliet then asked Benoit about his relationship was with his half-brother Daniel, who was 7 years old at the time when he died. It was incredible, man, Benoit explained. I loved that little guy. I loved him with all my heart. He was a great kid. Definitely did not deserve that. But, you know, he is a better place now. After the funeral, David noted that there were many conspiracy theories out there about what the public believed to be true or not about his father, stepmom, and half-brother's passing. Some even included the thought that Kevin Sullivan was involved in the crime. Rest assured, David knows the truth and did everything he could to vanish those theories out of his mind. I still believe that he did. Because where would the tweets be to, if I'm not mistaken, it was Guerrero. Okay, conspiracy theories are just a joke, Benoit announced. Kevin Sullivan didn't do anything. You know? We looked into that and never had the police look into him, so yeah. I didn't want to believe it. I thought someone broke into the house or some crap and did it. But apparently there was a scuffle at the door. That's what I heard. What type of scuffle? Because if the wife was in the house and the kid was in his room, where else could it? What else could it be? Benoit admitted that it took him a long time to fully come to terms with the truth of his catastrophic event. It took me 7 months, Benoit answered. I was sitting there thinking. I thought about it every day. Why? Couldn't he have left a note and he could have called me? For more in the story, go to that link. Elias has signed a multi-year contract extension with WWE. I think it's a 3-year deal. Elias revealed on his Instagram at this link account that his contract has been extended for 3 more years. I took this picture minutes before I performed in Times Square on NYE on Fox Network. Elias wrote on Instagram, the center of the world as 2020 was brought in. In that moment, it was made very clear that I needed to do what I needed to do next. The news has broke, and that I agreed to 3 more years with the WWE. There are many more mountains to climb, goals that I have set in motion many years before I drifted onto TV that needed to happen. A destiny that is manifesting. For every incredible moment I have created and been a part of, there's much more inside. The promised land awaits. Sasha Banks' scheduled match with Lacey Evans was pulled from SmackDown once again this week. WWE has tried to do the match for the past 3 weeks and still had it advertised as of SmackDown, but they stopped pushing the match as the show went on the air. WWE later did a backstage injury angle that saw Evans attack Banks, and SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley made the save. WWE producer Adam Pearce later interrupted Bayley and Banks in the trainer's room and ordered Bayley to face Evans in a non-title match. Evans won the match against Bayley and was then granted the title shot for WWE Royal Rumble pay-per-view on January 26th. We noted it for a few weeks how the plan has been for Evans versus Bayley to take place for the title. The match was originally planned for WWE TLC on December 15th, but was delayed so it could take place at the Rumble. Banks did not come to ringside with Bayley for her loss to Evans this week. The boss hasn't wrestled since January 3rd SmackDown episode, which saw Evans and Dana Brooke win a triple threat tag team match over Banks and Bayley, plus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross before that. Her last TV match came on December 27th SmackDown, in which she and Bayley defeated Evans and Brooke. Banks did work some of the post-Christmas live events, working the same triple threat tag team matches from the January 3rd SmackDown episode. New WWE on-air personality Elias Ashton made her official TV debut for the company on tonight's SmackDown episode. Elias appeared in a backstage segment with Shorty G and Sheamus, which set up their match at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. And you can see the segment at this link. Ashton's real name is Elias Zwick, and she is an actress, TV personality, and host. An Emmy-nominated traffic reporter for Fox 5, New York City. She is from New York City. Elias has been hosting This Week in WWE on the WWE Network with Scott Stanford, and also worked on 2 international programs, WWE Bottom Line and WWE Experience. Elias also currently works as a host with the NHL New York Islanders and still works for Fox 5. Pretty great night at Friday Night SmackDown. Thrilled to introduce Elias Ashton to the hashtag W Universe women raising hand emoji, party popper emoji, heart emoji, woman raising hand emoji again. Hashtag SmackDown, hashtag Blue Brand. At WWE on Fox, at WWE Universe. Elias and Kyler Braxton handle backstage duties on this week's SmackDown Fox episode. No word yet on if Elias will take over the role and work by herself, or if they will continue to tag team the show. WWE hires Rick back in October. The actor name is new to her. SmackDown on Fox opens up with a graphic in memory of Hall of Famer Rocky Johnson, who passed away on Wednesday at the age of 75. We cut to the opening SmackDown video, live from Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina. As the power goes off, Michael Cole welcomes us. He's joined the ringside by Corey Graves. They hype tonight's show. Go right to the ring. Out comes Cain for a special appearance. Cain marches to the ring as Greg Hamilton does the ring introduction. Cain takes the mic and says, "We're just 9 days away from his favorite night of the year, the Royal Rumble." He talks about the match where 30 people put their souls on the line. The match where you go to hell for a chance at immortality at WrestleMania. Cain brags about the Rumble match eliminations record and says he realizes how important this match is. Cain says WrestleMania dreams have turned to nightmares all because of him. And he has to admit, it was a lot of fun. Cain laughs. Firefly Funhouse music interrupts, and we see Universal Champion Bray Wyatt on the screen, big screen. Wyatt acknowledges Cain and says it's not nice to brag on other people's bad times and calls him a big red bully. Wyatt assures everyone Ramblin' Rabbit is alive and well and recovering nicely after what happened to him last week. We see Rabbit hooked up to an IV on some kind of carrot concoction. Wyatt says winning the Rumble is a great idea, especially if the winner challenges for this at WrestleMania, the Universal title. Wyatt points to a picture of Cain on the wall with his eyes crossed out. Wyatt says if his picture is up there, that means he and the Fiend got it on. Cain acknowledges this. Wyatt gets serious, and we see some flashes on their history together. Wyatt says he will never forget Cain, and neither will he forget. Lights are going down in the arena as Cain looks all around. The arena goes black, red lights come on, and we hear the familiar sounds echo over the arena. Cain is now standing outside of the ring now, looking up the ramp. The Fiend suddenly appears from a hole in the ring. Of course, a trap door in the ring. You can see the square in there. The Fiend crawls out and crawls across the ropes. Cain turns around and stares at him. Cain asks what took him so long. Fiend seems to pause and step back a bit. Daniel Bryan hits the ring out of nowhere and levels the Fiend with a running knee as he turns around. The Fiend tries to escape back through the hole in the ring, but Bryan is still trying to fight him. Crawling at him, Bryan comes back up from the hole with a handful of the Fiend's dreadlocks, as the Fiend did with him several weeks ago. Hair for hair. Bryan stands tall under red light as we get the yes chant started up for the crowd. Bryan looks around and joins in on the chant. As the lights come back up, Cain enters the ring and gets another yes chant going. Team Hell No does the chant together. Bryan's music hits. Still to come segment. John Morrison returns to the ring. Back commercial. Back to the ring. Kendall Braxton stops Daniel Bryan backstage. Bryan says a lot of people think the Fiend is good at mind games and getting the best of people, but he's really the best at running away. Bryan asks how you beat someone who disappears every time they're in trouble. He's got an idea. It's not a good idea, and really not a smart idea, but he challenges the Fiend to a strap match at the Royal Rumble. Bryan says they will each have one end of the strap and will go to war until one man wins. Bryan talks about how he understands what could happen to him, but he's done with the games and the Fiend escaping down the hole every time he gets in trouble. Bryan says the Fiend changed him, but at the Rumble, he will change the Fiend and win the Universal title. And your first match of the night, actually, Big E versus John Morrison. We'll go back to the ring. Out comes SmackDown Tag Team Champions, The New Day, Big E and Kofi. Out next comes John Morrison for his WWE in-ring return. His first match in more than 8 years in WWE. The Miz accompanies Morrison to the ring. Back for the ring, they go at it. Fan chant for The New Day early on. Big E overpowers and knocks Morrison to the mat early on in the match. Morrison turns around and mounts Big E with aggressive strikes. Morrison keeps control and takes Big E to the apron. Working him over, Morrison with a big neck breaker from the apron to the floor. We go to commercial with Morrison in control on the outside. Back for the ring, Morrison has Big E grounded in the ring. Kofi tries to rally for fans for Big E. We see how Morrison nailed a big kick during the break Big E powers up and launches Morrison, but he comes right back with another kick. Morrison poses for a mixed reaction, but mostly boos. Miz isn't happy. Morrison with a standing shooting star press for a 2 count. Big E powers up and goes for the big ending, but it's blocked. More back and forth. Morrison goes off the top, but misses as Big E lands several belly-to-belly suplexes. Morrison turns around with a cheap shot to the eyes as the referee is unable to see. Fans boo. Big E drops Morrison and runs the ropes for a big splash in the middle of the ring. Fan chant, New Day rocks. Morrison shuts the momentum down and kicks Big E again. Morrison nails another neckbreaker for a 2 count as Miz cheers him on. Miz gets up on the apron and distracts the referee, but Kofi comes over and pulls him off. They argue and Kofi shoves Miz into the steel ring steps. Morrison goes to the top and leaps out, taking Kofi down on the floor with a big move. Morrison all smiles as Big E recovers in the ring. Morrison poses on the apron, but Miz pushes him out of the way into safety as Big E charges. Big E then reaches for Miz, but gets dropped with a big kick from the side by Morrison. Morrison goes back in and drops Big E with a knee. Morrison goes up top in the corner and hits Starship Pain for the pin and win. After the match, Morrison's music hits as Miz hits the ring to celebrate with him as we go to replays. Morrison and Miz celebrate, and now to talk about how King Corbin will pick the stipulation for his Rumble match with Roman Reigns if Robert Roode can win tonight's tables match over Reigns. Reigns will pick the stipulation for Corbin if he wins tonight. Cole sends us to a video package on the Reigns versus Corbin feud. Usos backstage with Roman Reigns. They ask what his stipulation for the Rumble will be. He says they will find out when everyone else does. Reigns says he's been training in the yard, but he wonders if the Usos are ready for what they have in store. They are hyped up for the Revival and walk off for a match as it appears. Usos and Reigns welcome the Revival to the Uso Penitentiary. Back to commercial. And that match is up next. Back for the break. Announces plugged NFL on the Fox. We go back to the ring, and out comes the Usos. Jimmy and Jay. Out next comes the Revival, Scott Dawson, Dash Wilder. The bell rings, and Dawson starts off with Jimmy. Dawson beats him into the corner, and then backs off. Jimmy charges, and they go at it. They run the ropes, and Jimmy drops Dawson with a big chop. More back and forth until Jimmy nails a big right hand to the mouth. Jay tags in for a double team on Dawson. Into the corner for a 2 count. Dawson turns around on Jay, and then comes Dash off the tag. The Revival with quick tags, and Dawson with it nails a slingshot suplex for a 2 count as Dash launches himself in from the apron for a pin attempt. The Revival unloads on Jay in the corner now, beating him down as the referee warns him. The Revival plays to the crowd for some boos. Dawson beats Jay while he's down and drops a leg, then an elbow, then a headbutt. Dawson covers for a 2 count. Dawson grounds Jay on the mat now, working him over and going into another hold. Jay waits for a tag as Dash taunts him from the opposite corner. Fans start rallying for Jay now. Jay breaks free, but Dawson kicks him. Jay counters a suplex and they tangle. Jay drops Dawson with a big jumping kick to the head. Jimmy and Dash tag in at the same time. Unload with shots to both opponents. Jimmy ducks a shot from Dash and catches him with a Samoan drop. Fans pop for Jimmy as he charges, but gets sent to the apron by Dash. Jimmy fights back and goes to the top for a big crossbody. Dash kicks out at 2 as Jimmy is surprised. Jimmy goes for a super kick, but it's blocked. Revival with a double team counter, leading to Dash rolling Jimmy up for a 2 count. Jay tags back in. They hit double super kick to Dash, then to Dawson. As he runs in, fans cheer for the Usos. Jimmy tags back in. Jay runs the ropes and nails a suicide dive to Dawson on the floor. Jimmy stands up on the top rope and nails the big Uso splash on Dash for the pin and win. After the match, Usos stand tall, the music plays. Announcers comment on how the Revival continues to slide down the ladder. We go to replays. The Revival looks on from the stage as the Usos celebrate. Still to come, Reigns versus Roode in the tables match with big Royal Rumble implications. Back to commercial. Back for the break. and WWE touts a social media milestone of 20 million Instagram followers. We see the Revival walking backstage, but Kayla stops them and asks if they're frustrated with another loss. Dawson says if the company won't make a change, the Revival will have to make some kind of change. Dash says something similar. We hear a fight happening in the backstage area, and the camera jumps to Lacey Evans beating up Sasha Banks. Banks is down and looks to have a hurt leg. SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley makes a save and tends to Banks while screaming at officials to get Evans away from them. The announcers also tease Banks possibly being injured. The announcers look at the recent happening between Mandy Rose and Otis. We see Rose and Sonya Deville backstage. Rose is excited about Deville's match tonight and says Rose was right last week. This is the year of fire and desire. Sonya asks if Rose thinks Otis might want to be at ringside for a match tonight. Rose asks why, because Rose will be at ringside. Sonya says she didn't get the Otis thing before, but after seeing him out there helping Rose win last week, she gets it. Rose isn't seeing the Otis thing, how Deville is, and seems confused. Deville just wants Rose to ask Otis if he will be at ringside. Bayley and Sasha Banks are in the trainer's room. Banks has a hurt ankle. Bayley is furious and threatens to turn Lacey into a stay-at-home mom. Producer Adam Pearce shows up and comments on Banks failing to deliver on the match once again. He makes Bayley versus Evans official and says it will be a non-title, but it is happening. Bayley and Banks aren't happy with the ruling. Pearce walks off and goes to commercial. Match is up next. Back from the break. Out comes Bayley for the non-title match. Bayley is furious, ready to fight. Lacey is out next, and she's all smiles. Bell rings and Evans charges, but Bayley goes right to the floor for boos. Evans follows and talks trash. Evans chases her back in, but Bayley stomps away and unloads. Evans ends up fighting back and sending Bayley to the floor after a head scissors. Evans leaps out and takes Bayley down on the floor. Evans works Bayley around the ringside area as the referee counts. Evans brings it back in the ring and fights from the apron for a roll-up and a 2 count. Evans with another roll-up for a quick pin attempt. Bayley takes Evans down and uses the second rope for the pin, but the referee catches her. The referee has words with Bayley. Evans tries to capitalize, but Bayley keeps her down and works her over. Bayley with several forearm shots. Bayley with a handful of hair now. Bayley puts Evans back down for another quick pin attempt. Bayley grounds Evans by her arm now. Evans looks to mount to come back, but Bayley drops her again. Bayley mounts Evans and keeps her down as the fans try to rally with a chant for Lacey. Bayley plays to the crowd and gets rolled up for a 2 count. Bayley sends Evans to the apron and taunts the crowd some more. Evans fights back and sends Bayley into the turnbuckles. Evans with more offense. Now as the fans start to cheer her on. Evans tosses Bayley across the ring and nails a big kick to send her into the corner. Evans charges in the corner with another big boot thrust. Evans goes back to the second rope, stands and salutes, then jumps to the top rope for a springboard moonsault. Bayley gets her knees up. Evans rolls to the floor in pain, and Bayley follows up. Bayley charges with a big running knee to the head against the barrier. Go to commercial. Back from the break, Bayley is dominating Evans in the corner. Bayley taunts the crowd, but wastes time and gets dropped face first at the middle turnbuckle. Evans blocks a shot from the floor and kicks Bayley's back. Evans brings Bayley back in, but Bayley drops her over the middle rope with a stutter. Bayley covers for a 2 count. Bayley mounts Evans and unloads with a bunch of strikes now. Bayley with another big suplex, but Evans continues to kick out. Bayley with more over signature offense in the corner. Bayley with a flying elbow from the second rope. Evans still kicks out at 2. Bayley shows some frustration. Fans start chanting for Evans, but Bayley nails a knee to the face. Bayley goes to the top, but lands hard on a crossbody attempt as Evans moves. Evans charges in the corner, but Bayley drops her face first into the turnbuckle. Bayley looks to capitalize, but Evans drops her out of nowhere with a big woman's right for the pin to get the non-title win. After the match, Evans stands tall, as has her arm raised. The music hits as we go to replays. Evans sells the match to end the segment. Elias action backstage with Shorty G. She asks why Sheamus returned and singled him out last week. G says Sheamus' game won't work on him, and the same goes with attacking him while he's down. G goes on about embracing yourself. He knows Sheamus is big and decorated, but Sheamus walks in and acts like he can't see G because of his height. Sheamus faces off with G now, talking more trash. Sheamus threatens to knock G head off again, and then pats him on the head, calling him a little fella. G attacks and they start brawling. The brawl is broken up, but Sheamus is fuming as he destroys some more stuff. Back to commercial. Back for the break. Announcers plug WWE Backstage on FS1 for this week. Caleb Braxton backstage with, actually for next week. Caleb's backstage with Braun Strowman. He declares himself for the 30-man Royal Rumble match. Braun says that is next week, and now he wants to talk about WWE Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura. Braun goes on about Nakamura and Sami Zayn, and says he just wants his shot. Braun doesn't care if it's this week or next. He wants his shot at Nakamura. Braun storms off. We go to the ring, and Elias is out with his guitar. Elias says he's learned a lot about himself over the last year. He realizes he's the full embodiment of WWE, but he can't do it alone, and the truth is, he needs the fans. Elias says for him to reach where he belongs, he needs voices to ring out all over the world with the truth that WWE stands for. Walk with Elias, says the fans. He said it several times. He goes on. Elias goes on and starts performing his new Walking in Greensboro song. Music interrupts and out comes Sami Zayn, Cesaro, and Shinsuke Nakamura, your Intercontinental Champion. Zayn hates to interrupt Elias, but he, the great liberator, has something more important to talk about. Sami knocks the fans as they boo him. Sami brings up how Braun Strowman is running around, ranting about wanting to fight Nakamura. Sami says Nakamura doesn't back down from fights, and Braun won't have to wait long for his answer because the answer is absolutely not. Sami rips Braun some more and says he's in no position to demand anything because we call the shots around here. Sami says nothing will be happening with the Rumble match 9 days away. He brags on how Nakamura actually won the Rumble. Sami warns the entire roster that they are all now on notice. It sounds like Cesaro and Nakamura may be in the Rumble. Sami says he made his point, and Elias can now continue. Elias says he was multitasking while Sami spoke, and now he has a new song he just wrote in his hand. It's called Sami Needs to Shut His Mouth. And the chorus goes, Shinsuke sucks. Elias starts playing, but Sami interrupts and starts yelling at everyone. Sami sends Cesaro to the ring to take care of Elias. Cesaro rushes the ring and starts brawling with Elias. Nakamura hits the ring as Elias turns it around in the corner, but Elias is no match. Sami joins in next for a triple beatdown. Music hits and out comes Braun to make the save. Braun runs over Cesaro and Nakamura, then clotheslines Cesaro over the top. Sami has retreated. Braun sends Nakamura over the top next, then stands tall and plays to the crowd. Fan cheer for Strowman as Sami, Cesaro, and Nakamura regroup on the ramp. Strowman tells them to bring it as his music starts back up. Announcers later show tribute video on the Hall of Famer Rocky Johnson, who passed away at the age of 75 on Wednesday. Fans in Greensboro chant Rocky when we come back. Back from the break, Cole plugs the NFL on the Fox again. Sonya Deville versus Alexa Bliss was up next. We go to the ring out, and Sonya Deville already out with Mandy Rose. Out next was Alexa Bliss with Nikki Cross. Match is about to begin when the music interrupts. Out comes Heavy Machinery, Otis, and Tucker on the ramp. They watch from the bottom of the ramp as the bell rings. Deville takes control early on and nails a big running kick for a 2 count in the middle of the ring. Deville grounds Bliss on the mat now. Bliss fights out and arm drags Deville. Deville comes back, but Bliss fights her off and slaps her. Then drops her with another strike. Bliss with a basement drop kick and then kicks in the corner as the referee counts. Bliss with a big kick. Bliss goes to grab Deville, but Rose comes to the top to interfere. Cross runs over and knocks Rose off the top. but Otis catches her on the floor. DeVille and everyone looks at Otis holding Rose. They are all smiles. Bliss takes advantage of the distraction and rolls DeVille up for the pin and the win. After the match, Bliss and Cross head to the stage as the music hits. Rose joins DeVille in the ring to apologize for the distraction. Otis is on cloud 9. Robert Roode's backstage with King Corbin. Dolph Ziggler walk in. They hype him up and say they will get payback on Roman Reigns tonight for what he did to Roode several weeks ago. They go on about tonight's match, and Corbin talks about the stipulation he will choose for Reigns at the Royal Rumble. One where he will humiliate Reigns, take Reigns out of the Rumble match, and make him bow down to the King. Corbin says none of that can happen unless Roode wins tonight. So when Roode puts Reigns through that table, it will be absolutely glorious by commercial. Back for the break, the strap match stipulation is confirmed for Bryan versus Fiend at the Royal Rumble. Georgie G versus Sheamus and Lacey Evans versus SmackDown Women's Champion is also confirmed. Tables match, Robert Roode versus Roman Reigns was up next. We go to the ring for tonight's main event. Out comes Reigns as Pyro goes off. Reigns will get to choose stipulation for his match with Corbin at the Rumble. But Corbin will choose if Roode wins. Reigns is walking down the ramp when Robert Roode runs down and attacks him from behind to start the match. They take it to the ring as the brawl continues. Reigns takes control and drops Roode on the floor again. Reigns goes to stand a table up on the floor, but Roode cuts him off and sends him into the steel steps. Reigns turns it back around, and the announce table is cleared off. Roode rocks Reigns and sends him into the steel steps, shoulder first to turn it back around. Roode slides a table in the ring, but Reigns drops him with a drive-by. Fan chant for Reigns as he waits for Roode to get up. Reigns faces the crowd, then runs around the ring. Reigns goes for a big spear into the barrier, but Roode moves. Reigns crashes through into the timekeeper's area. Reigns clutches his arm as the music hits. Out comes King Corbin on his pedestal, carried by his servants. Back to commercial with Reigns down the ringside as Roode gets up. Back for the break, Roode has a table standing in the ring. He also has Reigns up top for a superplex through that table. Corbin is at ringside now. Reigns fights back and headbutts Roode. Reigns slides down and goes for a powerbomb through the table as fans pop. Roode fights out and rocks Reigns. Roode goes for the glorious EDT through the table. It's blocked. Roode blocks a Samoan drop and knocks the table over. Reigns counters and sends Roode out to the floor. Reigns grabs the table and tries to lean it into the corner, but he's struggling with it. He finally props the table up and goes back out to Roode. Reigns charges and hits a Superman punch on the floor. Reigns brings Roode back in the ring, awaits to deliver a spear through the table in the corner when Roode stands up. Corbin hits the apron, and Reigns swings, but he jumps off. Ziggler hits the ring, and Reigns turns around to a big super kick out of nowhere. Corbin enters the ring and mounts Reigns down, pounding on him as the referee just watches. Ziggler goes out and clears off what's still on the announce table. Reigns gets sent into the ring post. Corbin and Ziggler lay Reigns on the table as Roode goes up top. Usos run into the ring. Roode leaps at them, but they nail a double super kick. Usos take out Ziggler and Corbin. Then they'll double dive to them on the floor. Fans pop big for the Usos making the save. They help Reigns up, and they lay Ziggler on the announce table now. Usos walk to the top of the barrier, hit a double Uso splash on Ziggler through the announce table for another big pop. Reigns powers up in the ring, and then nails a big spear on Roode, putting him through the table in the corner. The bell rings, and Reigns gets a win for putting Roode through the table. After the bell, we see Corbin throwing a tantrum at ringside. We go to replays. Music stops, and Reigns says the Royal Rumble is in a baseball stadium, Minute Maid Park, and he's going to beat Corbin all over it. Reigns announces that their match will now be a Falls Count Anywhere match. Corbin continues to rant and complain at ringside as Reigns celebrates with the Usos in the ring. SmackDown on Fox goes off the air. Special guest commentators John Quasto and Masur welcome fans to a brand new episode of 205 Live. First match of the night was announced. Tyler Breeze versus Ari DeVary. Breeze starts the match by putting DeBerry in a side headlock. DeBerry backs Breeze into the ropes and breaks out of the hold. Breeze with a drop kick. Breeze with several right hand strikes. DeBerry rolls out of the ring. Breeze sends DeBerry towards the barricade. He does it again. Both men make their way back in the ring. DeBerry grabs a hold of Breeze's hair and slaps his head down on the canvas. DeBerry and Breeze are both on the middle rope. Breeze back elbows DeBerry off of him. DeBerry with a cover. Breeze kicks out of two. DeBerry with a strike. Breeze with a midsection kick. DeBerry counters back with an arm lock. Breeze breaks a hold. Breeze sends DeBerry out of the ring. DeBerry is back in the ring. Breeze with a modified backstabber. Covers. DeBerry kicks out. DeBerry with a roll up. Covers. Breeze kicks out. DeBerry with a Uranagi slam. Covers. Breeze kicks out again. Breeze takes a lariat and counters with an insecurity. DeBerry with a counter of his own. Sends Breeze towards the turnbuckles. Brings with a beauty shot. Cover. Breeze wins. After GM Jake Maverick invited Gentleman Jack Gallagher back to 205 last week, Gallagher has some demands before he makes his return. Gentleman Jack Gallagher replying to at Gentleman Jack G. Demand number 1. Jake Maverick start dressing like a real general manager again and stop wearing that bloody awful green leather jacket that he most likely got for free. At WWE 205 Live. At WWE Maverick. At Gentleman Jack again. Demand number 2. My new entrance music my new entrance music is to be Stunner by Dan Lesac versus Scroobius Pip. It's a tune at WWE 205 Live at WWE Maverick. Up next, second match of the night, Leo Rush versus Sunil Singh with Samir in the corner. Before the bell rings, Rush dives through the middle rope, taking out the Singh brothers. Bell rings, Rush takes the lead until Samir from the outside attacks Rush with his camera. Sunil with a big diving elbow drop, covered. Rush kicks out. Sunil grounds Rush with a headlock. Rush fights out of it with multiple chest strikes. Rush with a boot towards Sunil's chin. Out on the outside, Samir covers for his brother and pretends he's Sunil. The referee knows that it's Samir and bans him from ringside. Rush knocks Sunil down with a bottom rope cutter. Rush heads to the top, lands the final hour, covers, and Rush wins. Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Raul Mendoza for your main event. Mendoza begins the match with an arm lock up, which transitions into an arm drag. Scott wraps Mendoza's wrist up. Mendoza flips out of the hold. Mendoza with a hurricanrana sends Scott to the outside. Back in the ring, Mendoza sends Scott flying towards the turnbuckle. Now Mendoza puts Scott in another submission. Scott climbs to his feet and lands a kick towards Mendoza's midsection. Scott on the second rope lands a flying European uppercut. Cover, Mendoza kicks out. Scott follows with a flatliner, covers, Mendoza kicks out again. Mendoza off the middle rope with a super hurricanrana, follows up with a middle rope moonsault. Cover, Scott kicks out. Mendoza wastes little time and flies out of the ring and lands right on top of Scott. Both men make their way back in the ring. Scott is up, lands a house call, covers Mendoza, and wins the match. That concludes this week's episode of 205 Live. Thanks for that dark main event after 205 Live in Greensboro, North Carolina. At the Greensboro Coliseum, saw Universal Champion, The Fiend, retain the title over Daniel Bryan. And that concludes my results for SmackDown 205 Live. Thanks again. Peace out. See you on the video. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.